This video is a tribute to the life of the six-time world snooker champion Ray Reardon, a coal miner turned police officer turned most successful snooker player of the 1970s and a brilliant entertainer. Ray was still making century breaks at the age of 91. As you might expect, I found all of his best shots from TV appearances, so I can recreate them as accurately as possible before playing them in the fewest possible attempts. Our first shot, however, is from the 1983 Masters Final, where Ray came back from 2-0 behind against Jimmy White to eventually go on and win the match. While the blue requires a good pot, this is mostly about stunning the cue ball back across the table for the pink in the other side, and I just haven't quite got it right yet until my third shot, where I think I'm there. A little bit too high up the table, but that's not bad. Well, that's a tough shot to start off with, but late on in the 1982 World Championship final, where Ray was playing Alex Higgins, he needed a snooker, and he manages to get it behind the black here by playing the white off the brown onto the side cushion and getting the white tight. My first attempt looks fairly good for line. I've just hit it a little bit too hard and knocked the black forward. But my second attempt looks a lot better. I've hit this one a little bit slower and I'm tight in behind the black. Alex tries to escape from the snooker around two cushions but misses the brown, giving Ray the penalty points he needs but not the easiest of shots. Despite this, he manages to knock the long pot in and remove the blue from the cushion at the same time, leaving it on into the middle pocket. After this, he'd go on to make the clearance and win the frame. This one requires left-hand side to swing the cue ball over off the bulk cushion to the blue, and it needs the perfect cannon to knock it on into the right middle pocket as we look at it. And the pot on the brown, with the white being close to the top cushion, is pretty difficult itself, especially when we have to play it with left-hand side. However, Ray would often get shots like this because he was the master at the counter clearance, and would never pass up a chance like this to finish the frame off. I'm potting the brown again, but I still can't get the right cannon on the blue. However, that looks pretty good, and it goes past the pink. Ray won his last world title back in 1978 against Perry Mans, a tough opponent. You can see him here knocking in this long pink and screwing the cue ball all the way back down the table for the black to win the frame. Ray's shot that we're looking at here though is when he's on 97, cutting this green down the cushion for the century. This would be Ray's 6th world title and made him the oldest world champion until Ronnie O'Sullivan beat the record in 2022. My first attempt was probably good, but the nap took it away from the bulk cushion, so I've hit this second shot a little bit harder and it worked. I'm not too sure where this swerve comes from because I only found a short clip of it, but it's still a great shot, so I'm going to have a go and see if I can make the cue ball swerve around the green perfectly to knock the red in. This one's going to be a little bit challenging, I feel. Certainly one of the hardest shots of Ray's I'm trying to recreate, and he probably wasn't trying to pot it in the corner pocket, but that doesn't really matter and I'm having a go at it anyway. The thing I'm struggling with this shot is it needs quite a bit of swerve, so you've got to play it at a slow enough speed to get the white round the green, and other than that close attempt, I'm struggling to get anywhere near the right place on the red, because it's very easy to hit it a little bit too hard and therefore hit the red too thick, and difficult to get enough spin on it for it to go in. I'm slowly getting a little bit closer with this one, and I might have finally got it here. That was incredibly tough. Our next shot is against John Parrott in the deciding frame in the 1985 World Championships, as Ray pots the black here and cannons the yellow out down the cushion, leaving him a chance to make the clearance and win the match 13 frames to 12. Although it looks like I've got it on my first attempt, I've just put a little bit too much left-hand side on the cue ball. You've got to be really accurate with this one, so I've backed it off a little bit and got the cannon pretty good, even though it's a tiny bit too hard. This shot's from another great clearance, as he'd already managed to pot a long yellow to get himself into this position, and then pots the green, getting the cue ball round the back of the black, round the back of the brown, and in position. From here he goes on to finish off the frame. It doesn't look like the pot on the green is going to be too difficult, but I'm guessing it needs a little bit of left-hand side to get the cue ball round the angles and round the back of the black in particular. But the left-hand side seems to have thrown it too wide there, and in fact I just need to play it plain ball. But unfortunately, as I've started playing the shot plain ball, I just can't seem to pot the green for whatever reason, and the white seems to be going roughly in the right direction at the same time, so if I only pot it, it looks like it's going to be close. I finally got the shot and it turns out it was a natural angle. This next long pot's from the Park Drive 600 back in 1971. So cool because there was £600 on the line for the winner. Not only does Ray pot this red, but he finishes off the frame from here with a 1-2-7 break, and the audience really seem to appreciate it. I've stunned it a little bit too much, but that's pretty good first try. Ray plays another really well-controlled snooker here, screwing the cue ball in behind the black while using the blue to slow the brown down. The blue nearly drops in the corner, but as it doesn't, it's a pretty decent shot. This means what I need to do on this shot is play the brown directly into the blue, and because I've missed it on my first attempt, the fact that I got the white in behind the black doesn't matter because the brown's crept out. On my second attempt, I've got the cannon on the blue, it's slowed it down, and the white's well in behind the black here. There's no chance of seeing this direct. This next shot was from 1982, and it was the first ever Shot of the Championship winner, as Ray used his topspin to slow the cue ball down and get the white tight in behind the black. Don't be fooled by how easily Ray got the snooker. This is a very difficult shot to judge. To start off with, you have to play it at the right angle. If you play it too thick or thin, you simply won't get the topspin effect and get the cue ball slowing down in the right way. Then you need to get the cue ball to slow down in enough time. I've played the shot roughly right a few times here, but I've just hit it a little bit too hard, so the white didn't stop before it hit the black. This one I've slightly overdone it, so I've got to hit it a little bit slower and just let the cue ball slow down and not get too much topspin in it that it stops instantly. Every shot I play I am getting better at controlling this, and that one stopped nicely in behind the black, and the fact that red hit the yellow makes it all the better. Ray was able to win the match for Wales against Canada in the World Challenge Cup back in 1980 with this clearance. He pots a really good black here and gets the cue ball a little bit too far down the table with a kiss on the pink, but still manages to pot the next red anyway. I must have got this one set up fairly well because I've cannoned off the pink down the table in the right direction, just didn't knock the pink over far enough, but that's pretty good. Ray was out of position for almost every single shot in that clearance, including this one on the blue, where he finally gets back in position on the pink. Considering how many difficult shots there were up to this one in this clearance, this was a difficult shot. I just pushed the cue ball on a little bit too far, but it's just about okay. I only found one double this week from the tournament we looked at earlier. This was match ball against John Spencer, and he went on to win it from here. You're never entirely sure where the object ball is going to go as it breaks away from the cushion, but I seem to have got this spot on, although the white hasn't quite gone in the right place. Next up, it's a difficult long red. It's Ray stunning the cue ball across the table for the black into the same pocket. I'm usually not too accurate with a stun shot over this distance, so it's going to be difficult to both pot it and get the cue ball in behind the black at the same time, and I've surprised myself a little bit there. This next one may look a bit simple, but it's the winning shot from the 1978 final, and it's not really fully appreciated by the audience, but Ray would go on to win it from here. So in theory, nothing too complicated with this one. I've just got to find the right angle and pot the ball, which might be a little bit harder than I was expecting, but I've got it and somehow I went in off. Ray actually caught the jaw on his way back, so it's close to recreating it as perfectly as I can. I was just a bit unfortunate to go in off, and I've somehow done it again. That's incredible. Somehow I've managed to make a shot that I thought was going to be considerably easier than some of the previous ones I was trying. Difficult. It's finally gone in though, and I don't really care the white's nowhere near the correct position. Another decisive pot and positional shot from Ray as he pots this long green and gets in position on the brown round the angles. The white just nudges the brown, but it's enough for him to pot it down the cushion. I'm confident I've got everything set up in the correct position here. It just doesn't quite look right for some reason. I'm assuming this is another shot you have to play plain ball, and I've played it like that, but it doesn't look like the cue ball's going to go anywhere near the brown, even though I haven't hit it hard enough. And even though I've given my second attempt a lot more speed, it doesn't look like I've got anywhere near the correct angle to get on the brown. Ray actually hit the far cushion, and it doesn't seem to be possible to do that and get over far enough. So I've come to the conclusion he hit the middle jaw, and the bump just nudged it across over to the other side of the table. As it's unlikely I'll be able to do that, I'm playing this shot with a tiny tracer right-hand side and having to hit the lower cushion. It means I can't recreate it perfectly, but at least I've got a chance of getting the white somewhere near the correct position, because this one was more or less impossible. Before the next shot, let's just find John, who's in Rostock, Germany, which is there. Another long red now from the 1983 Masters final, as Ray's able to defeat Jimmy White here by 9 frames to 6. Again, this is a shot I've just got to cue fairly well and make sure I hit it hard enough to get the white back up the table. My first shot was incredibly close, just rattled it in the jaws, and my second one's gone right in the middle of the pocket. Hit it a little bit too hard, but that's still okay. How about this one down the cushion? Not only does he pot this, but he plays it firm enough to get out in position for the pink. If I can just get the speed right here, I'm expecting this one to go fairly close. Oh, not quite. Just caught the near jaw on the way to the pocket. Let's see if I can do a bit better than that. Nope, still not quite going in. I just keep flicking that near jaw. That one's finally dropped though. Ray was someone I was lucky enough to meet a couple of times in person, and I'll never forget him taking the time to watch someone in my snooker team make a 70 break, and at the end offer him advice, saying that they were definitely good enough to make 100, they just selected the wrong shots at the end.